Welcome to KetoMealsAndRecipes.com. Today I'm not doing a recipe video. Instead, I'm doing this demonstration video to help explain how to make a moist, succulent, and flavorful turkey. At the end of this video, I will provide a menu with suggestions for complimentary side dishes and a dessert that will keep you in keto throughout Thanksgiving. Since I have a lot of information I'd like to share with you, I will post a blog entry with tips and explanations I could not include in this video because the video would have become too long. To make a great turkey, my first tip would be you should buy a relatively small, under 5 kilos or 11-pound turkey, or even half of that weight, because these will be the youngest turkeys and have the most tender meat. Tip 2. Buy a fresh, not frozen or previously frozen turkey. Tip 3. Don't buy a pre-stuffed or pre-basted turkey. This most likely won't be keto or may be infused with oils that are not the healthiest choice. I began by untucking the legs from the flap of skin holding them into place. Don't cut this flap because you'll need to retuck the legs later. Then remove the neck and giblets bag from the cavity. You may also want to check the neck cavity area because sometimes they put the giblets there. If you see any extra flap just hanging down, cut that off. Set these aside, you don't need them right now. However, you should put them into a freezer bag because these will be a great part of a bone broth. Also, check and remove any plastic bits that may be on the turkey. Then, drain the liquid from the cavity into your sink and rinse off both the inside and the outside surface of the turkey. Just make sure that you go back later and clean the sink well. You don't want to cross-contaminate anything and you don't want salmonella in your sink. Before doing anything else, pat the outside of the turkey with a paper towel. Tip 4. To make it easier to lift the turkey out of the pan so that the legs and wings don't fall off when it's done, pre-line your pan with a double row of aluminum foil. Make sure your length of aluminum is long enough to cover the bottom and both sides, as well as have a little extra on each side for a handle. At this point, go to your oven and place the tray into the bottom third position, and then preheat the oven to 188 Celsius or 370 degrees Fahrenheit. At this point, you can choose to use a stuffing or not do a stuffing at all. Remember that a stuffing will add a few carbs to your total dinner. Although I do like stuffing, I choose to save my carbs for dessert. The important thing to remember is that if you are or are not using a stuffing, whatever you put into the cavity will both help season and baste the turkey from the inside. This is one of the secrets to a perfect moist turkey. For our Thanksgiving dinner, I made a simple chicken sausage stuffing, which I will explain in the blog. But you can put in any stuffing of your choice. Some of your guests may not be following a full keto diet and they may prefer to have stuffing. That will be up to them and you. If you're not adding stuffing at all, then in a small bowl, combine 1/2 cup of room temperature butter with 2 tablespoons of either olive oil or avocado oil, 1 tablespoon of poultry seasoning, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and 1 tablespoon of thyme powder. Add 1 teaspoon of salt and stir well. Then using your hand, do your best to coat the entire inside cavity of your turkey. If you're not using a stuffing and you've cut out the fat, you could also put that flap of fat you cut away earlier into the bottom of the cavity. This fat will help flavor the turkey meat and keep it moist. Then I recommend you take a large lemon and stuff it into the opening. Do this before you tuck the legs back into the flap of skin to hold them together. The lemon will give the meat a really nice extra bit of flavor, and you can use the roasted lemon to make a lemon sauce later. You will notice that there's a little red button on my turkey. If you can get a turkey that has some kind of indicator that shows when your turkey is done, this is a really good idea and takes away a lot of the guesswork. However, if your turkey does not have this button, don't worry. Later on, I'll tell you how to test to see if your turkey is done. Now we'll create the butter baste for the outside. Get a small bowl or cup and into it, place a 2½ cup of room temperature butter, 1 tablespoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of either olive oil or avocado oil, and stir this well to form a paste. Then simply rub this paste all over the top and sides of your turkey, making sure you also coat the area between the legs and the sides, and be liberal with how much butter paste you put on. Then cover your turkey with aluminum foil, but leave a little bit of a gap so that the aluminum foil does not touch the surface of the turkey breast. Then fold the aluminum foil around the rim of the roasting pot to make a fairly airtight seal. Place your turkey into the preheated oven. The roasting guideline for your turkey is about 30 minutes of roasting time per every kilogram weight of your turkey, which is 2.2 pounds per 30 minutes. Remember, this is just a guideline, so you do have to check on your turkey from time to time. And at about 45 minutes before your turkey is done, take the turkey out of the oven and remove the aluminum foil. Before placing your turkey back in the oven, use some of the drippings to baste the entire surface of the turkey. Do this a couple times. And then place the pan with the uncovered turkey back into the oven. I suggest that you reset your timer to make sure you have enough time for the turkey to be done. By baking your turkey for the last 45 minutes without a cover, this will allow the skin to get a nice golden brown and to get crispy. To check if the turkey is done the old-fashioned way, poke either the thick part of the thigh or the center of the breast. If the juice coming out is completely clear, then your turkey is done. Now tip 5 to ensure that your turkey is moist and not dry. Begin by removing 2/3 of the drippings from the pot. You will use this to make gravy. Leave the rest of the fluid in the roasting pot with your turkey. Then taking the aluminum you had used earlier to cover your turkey and loosely place it on top of the turkey. Then just leave the turkey alone and let it rest for a minimum of 3 hours, because the juices will go back into the deep parts of the meat and your turkey will be incredibly moist and not your typical dry stringy turkey that is served hot that has not been allowed to rest long enough. To complete the Keto Thanksgiving menu, I would suggest that you serve my ratatouille as your vegetable side dish. And for dessert, either the amazing pumpkin pie with cinnamon cream or the very easy to make spicy pumpkin and hazelnut cream custard. I almost forgot, don't forget to make your gravy. The how-to and details are in my blog post. Enjoy. See you next time. Thank you for watching and have a wonderful holiday. The link for the blog information and the other videos suggested in this menu are available in the description below.